From my understanding, it is pretty big. People are bullish on it. This people might do a lot more POCs compared to last year. At least from enterprises point of view, adoption is going to take a longer time, but companies are going to invest into AI or trying out experimenting.
Which companies you think would be the first adopters for the agentic AI?
I'd say anything which is not customer facing currently, that might be a good bet, because once the customer has a bad experience with it, POC is going to not use the tool or product.
Hello, everyone. A founder is a visionary, someone who transforms ideas into reality, overcomes challenges, and creates meaningful impacts. Through Founder Stories Podcast, we bring you inspiring journey of the founders, the challenges, the breakthrough moments, and how they are using AI to innovate and grow. This podcast is brought to you by Aki AI, a multi-agent companion designed for founders and investors. Aki AI delivers specialized solutions that streamline the whole startup journey, making it simpler, faster, and more efficient. Do remember to check it out. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Founder Series Podcast. Today we have an interesting guest with us, Chinmaya Behera from Product Experts, and my co-founder Rashmi Rajat would be really happy to talk to him and listen. I will now give it to Chinmaya. Chinmaya, maybe you can start with a little bit of introduction on yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot, Satya and Rashmi, for inviting me to this podcast. Hey, everyone, this is Chinmay. I'm the founder of Product Experts. Product Experts is a boutique product management consulting firm, or a product agency, as we call it. We help startups and scale ups with all of their product management needs. In general, we have outsourced product management as a service here, and fractional CPO is our core offering for startups who can't hire a full-time product leader, and our product leaders coming from anywhere from 10 to 15 years of experience in various industries. They'll cater this need in a fractional way. So that's our core offering, and we have expanded into product marketing and product management coaching also in the recent few quarters. So this started in January or February of 2023. It has been 2 years with Product Experts now. So we started with individual consulting, me and my co-founders, for one of the clients in UK, followed by in the Middle East. And then later in the year, we formed a company, and now we have got 8 product leaders working with us on various engagements.
And what was your journey like before Product Experts?
Yeah, before Product Experts, I've had a long journey. I mean, it's a 14-year-old career. I've been a software engineer at the beginning, moved into product management in various companies, internet companies in India like Naukri and Make My Trip. Did a product startup of my own also in 2017-18 phase called Machine Up, which is into predictive maintenance for manufacturing sector in India. Worked in global companies like Sixt and also Fly Homes, which is a Series C startup in the US. So been in the engineering space, been in product management as an individual contributor and also product leader, been an entrepreneur earlier. So mix of experiences across the entire spectrum of startups and the let's say enterprises. That's how I landed up with Product Experts.
Nice. So you have also worked on predictive maintenance in your early journey. Can you share what were the insights of that, the AI, and how what is?
Yeah, definitely. So at Machine Up, we started as an IoT company to begin with, that we will develop the sensor which will sit on top of machines which have any rotatory component. We will analyze the vibration pattern of these machines through, let's say, on the cloud, and then give early signals whether the machine is working fine or not. So we had deployed these as pilots in, let's say, cement plants in Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh in remote corners of India. While we were able to do the pilots, scaling up a hardware business was very tough then. And one of the problem statements our clients mentioned is energy consumption is going through the roof, and this is a problem they would look like a software-only solution. And that's where we pivoted a bit into building a core software product for predicting the energy consumption in the plant based on various parameters in the cement making process, be it the speed of a equipment or a temperature of a kiln or the flow rate of the materials coming in. And we were able to build this model which can predict the energy consumption and also use farm optimization to, let's say, recommend this on what parameters to run the plant on, so that the energy consumption comes down. And we were able to get it down by 7% for one of the plants in our trial run. So that was more of supervised learning plus swarm optimization, which helped us achieve that in our earlier journey.
What made you think pivot it in a later point of a time? What were the
And
factors?
yeah, I would say building technology, understanding problems, building products was the easy part for us because me and my co-founder, we both came from a core product management technology background. Selling it to enterprises, going through the bureaucratic process of making sell technology to an industry which hasn't seen the, let's say, cloud era or the mobile era. It was very, very tough selling latest cutting edge technology to such an industry.
So curious here, Chinmay. So did you try out outside of India also, or only Indian companies?
At that point of time, I was a bit early in my career, so we didn't have the network reach and also
Yes.
understanding that how do we like go for a GTM outside of India and all. And based on those learnings with product experts, we are mainly catering to US or Middle East or the clients in the UK currently.
I think you've learned your lesson there.
Right,
Yeah. So
Right.
this is something I have seen a lot. I mean, any market, any sector, even consumer for that matter, right? We have seen that Indian market is not an early adopters market. Would you concur
right.
on that, or like have you different seen different things in here as well?
Yeah, I also agree on that. Indian market is not an early adopter market. Again, it's coming from the value perception you get from technology. It's much, much higher in the West compared to India. There might be various factors around it. In India, the one place I see it differing is in the fintech space. There's a lot
Mm,
more adoption of fintech products in India compared to anywhere else in the world.
gotcha. Makes sense.
So basically, this is an interesting insight. Like fintech is, yeah, we have seen a lot of evolution in fintech space, and also we are seeing, right, along with fintech, new technologies coming up, like Web3 and AI specifically.
But
So,
that's
and
not getting
2025,
adopted though, right? Web3 and AI
yeah,
is
that
not
is.
getting adopted in India though.
No, it's just not getting. That's what then I think the core problem remains the same. The early adoption in India is a little bit trailing. It's mostly they see what's happening around the globe and that they adopt it. Probably it comes from the US centric. Like whatever happens in US, then it gets popularized here. That's a validation cycle that most of us are
So
following.
So I think this is a topic to deep dive, right? So why is that fintech is one of the, if you look at the other countries, be it US, be it Europe, fintechs are laggards. Fintechs are very restrictive markets. There are a lot of policies, regulations around fintech. And surprisingly, India is leading there and lagging in every other market in innovation. I mean, not in terms of this, but coming up with new product adoption innovation. This is
Yeah, I
interesting.
think yeah, a lot has to do with the government's push for UPI and they building the underlying layer, almost giving it for, I don't know how much they charge, a Google Pay or a Phone Pay for it and all. So once the underlying layer is built, the friction with the, let's say, banking system and all, that's removed. And yeah, somehow things have taken off during COVID and there were
I
multiple
think
factors related to it.
right, right. I think the
Just one
demonetization
of the
was the
angles.
major thing.
Yeah.
The demonetization was a major event which propelled that space. Chinmay, coming to you, like what was the thing that made you start this product experts? What was the impetus behind it or the push?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it landed up in this because of a personal situation. So towards end of 2022, my mother's health condition was failing and she's not doing that great. I could not be in a full-time job and as in between hospitals, home, and that sort of taking care as a, let's say, primary and or a secondary caregiver. And yeah, so after things stabilized for a bit, again, I could not take a full-time job because, yeah, again, I have to can't commit entire day to it. And eventually, we lost my mother around mid of 2023, July.
Yeah, that.
And that's it. I was already consulting as an individual to one of the companies. And after that, after taking 2, 3 months, getting the family situation stabilized, I thought, do I want to get back to a full time job or like try this out as a business, given that I have been an entrepreneur earlier. Here I was making some money also, and few of my batchmates, peaceful batchmates. They were very intrigued by my lifestyle, that you're able to give time to your family, you're able to work on interesting problem statements, keep yourself sharp in the field and all. And when few of them started reaching out to me that we also want to do it together with you, then I thought, okay, there is a scope for a business. So when we started, we didn't silo ourselves to that we will do only this, and that's how we have expanded into different verticals, be it product marketing, product management, coaching also, and now we are getting into AI consulting. So that's the way we have expanded. It's a services business, consulting business. We constantly staff ourselves with quality folks coming with pretty good experience in the industry, and who are motivated to work in a similar mode because of either they have also a personal situation wherein they have to care for the elderly, or they're a new parent. They want to see their child grow for the first um, 2, 3, 4 years, be there with their family, or they're a startup founder who are winding them down their current startup. They want to start up afresh, but have 6 months, 8 months. They know that it's going to take time to find conviction and idea, build a team, proceed further. But they also want some cash flows and also be, let's say, make the best use of their skills. So these are the three categories of people who work the best with us on the supply side, and yeah, that's how it has things have been evolving on our side.
And you said you are an 8 people team right now.
Yeah, right.
Nice, nice.
That is really interesting. So one of the interesting point was what is the area or the problem statement for AI consulting? What fields
Mhm.
that you consult on AI?
Yeah. So in the last quarter, October, November, December, we made the decision that we will focus on the areas we are strong at, which are retail and e-commerce, logistics, and BFSI. So these are the three industries we are targeting, both for product consulting and also AI consulting. And based on my experience of meeting leaders in the retail and logistics space in the Middle East. So this is where we are getting some early conversations going with these prospects. And these are large legacy players who have in the digitalization journey. They're building the initial products, tools, systems to like digitize their workflows and all. And then in 1 or 2 years, they see that they're going to transform into an AI company directly, but they don't know which way to go, how to build that foundational data layer that will enable them to maximize the impact of AI, be it for improving their operational efficiency, automating a bunch of tasks, or improving the customer experience in general. So this is how the conversation started. And while I initially pitched them for product management consulting, they were more about what do you have on your roadmap for AI? Can you help us with our AI strategy and all? So this is how it triggered us that if we are in this age, we are not playing in AI space. Our clients have also started asking. Maybe we ourselves will get obsolete in the next 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, really an interesting insight. So, what the new trend that we are seeing is people are moving to digitalization from the legacy space, but along with the digitalization, they are looking to see towards AI. So when they're talking about AI, are they specific that if they want kind of a Gen AI, or is it that they want to go with specific
Hmm. Okay.
use case? Specifically, based on I'm looking at, is it that they're more specific about the buzzword Gen AI, or they want to really uh, enhance that use cases to by using AI?
Yeah, I would say most of the clients I've spoken to, they don't know what are the use cases that AI can solve. They're more coming
Okay.
with a blanket approach. I want to use AI. There is a lot of talk in my boardroom, or our roadmap for the 2025 looks like this. We have three AI initiatives, but we don't know what to do. So that's why they're engaging with consulting firms.
Um,
The clients themselves, they don't know what can AI solve, what it can't do, or what it can do, what it can't do. They're more or less looking at engaging with consultants, be it the larger consulting firms, McKinsey or Accenture in general, to understand the AI playbook, let's say in retail, what all things can be done and all, and what fits into their business, rather than they telling an agency that, okay, these are the problems we want to solve using AI. That has not been the case. Even last week, I was speaking to a prospect, and they're like, okay, this is what we will do as part of our SOW or the statement of work. But you also need to come with what other use cases you can solve using AI and all, and we will see where we can fit in our roadmap. So those are the conversations we are having. And then again, there's a lot of discovery around their business, what sort of data they have got, what sort of systems are there, because AI as a silo can't simply be plugged in. So there are multiple such things going on. So yeah, just shared some of the insight from my side.
I think this is a theme across everyone. Like even for an individual, if you ask me, like where all do you think AI is going to help you? I am have that same thing that I don't know. Like where all AI can do, I'm open for more suggestions. I want people to come and show me where I can use AI. What can it do into my life? How can I increase my productivity? How can I improve my quality of life in a way, right? It's so early, and I think this theme is not just for individuals, for founders, and you are also saying that the same theme is also there for corporates, large corporates who are having AI in their roadmap, but they don't know where. I think this same thing, like this is a technology everyone is excited about, but they don't know how and where they can apply it to maximize the benefits.
Absolutely. I think I also can concur to that because everyone I talk to, even like enterprises, even the startups, everybody is really excited to work with AI. But again, they don't know how to work with it or what use cases they will solve. Is it productivity? Is it efficiency? Or is it just the text and video enhancements? The question mark is evident. But yes, we all know that AI is definitely going to change. But how to change, where to change, probably that's an area where more clarity needs to be brought in. And it's a job of the upcoming founders and people like who are AI influencers like us, who would bring such use clarity in the use cases so that people are aware about the AI and they adopt it in a better way.
I would not call myself an AI influencer at all. I am a learner. I am here to learn. My purpose of being here on the podcast is to learn from folks like Chinmay and you also, Satya. Like, how are everyone leveraging AI? I am using the word leveraging, not using, because I think use case comes a little later. But now people are experimenting, leveraging in different. And I want to really learn from them and see if I can apply some of them myself. Right? That's my simple or my guilty pleasure in a way to understand more. I spend like
Exactly.
about 1 to 2 hours every day watching AI videos. I mean, I must be crazy, right? So it'll be playing in the
Yeah.
background, I'll be working, but I'm like so addicted to AI these days. So I want to go ahead and ask Chinmay the most important question now. So, what all tools do you AI tools do you use, Chinmay, in your let's say I would not say day to day, may not be daily, but let's say every day, every week, every month. Let's say what all tools you have experimented with, what all tools you like, what all tools you discarded. Tell me how has your AI journey been like?
Yeah, definitely. So I think even before GenAI came into the picture and all in 2023, the first tools that come to my mind are Fireflies.ai, Otter.ai for meeting summarization. Those are the first ones I remember. And those are the ones I instantly like because they give you a summary of the meeting without anybody needing to take notes, or you can just match your notes with the meeting to see if you have missed something. So from there it started, and then eventually when ChatGPT came again, GPT 3.5, 4, those have been. ChatGPT is something I use on a day-to-day basis, almost my go-to tool for any prospect I'm researching, any email I'm writing, for refining my thoughts and giving it a better structure. Research is something I use it very frequently for creating slides for a presentation or something to put the initial things I use. Um, Parallel to ChatGPT, I also use Claude.ai, or some of their visualizations is something I like there, be it a product strategy map or a business strategy map. That's something Claude does well. That's what I would say. So in this category of, let's say, summarization, creating textual or visual content for product experts or my own work, I use these. Apart from it, in the same bucket, I would put Notebook LM also. That's something I use specifically for not work related, but for analyzing. So I do, I'm a long-term investor in Indian and US equities, investing for the last 10 years. And every week I used to spend 5 to 7 hours going through conference calls and earnings reports of these companies to understand if I have, for example, invested in a stock like Titan. Is Titan doing good as per my initial hypothesis? Is their market share improving? How are they doing compared to competition and all? And a lot of qualitative analysis I used to do. Now things have been simplified with things like Notebook LM. I simply take the transcript of the call from YouTube or wherever the transcript is posted, put it onto Notebook LM, ask it a series of questions. Titan doing good on these aspects. What are the growth levers for next year as per its competition? How is it doing and all? And things are much way simpler. What used to take me 5-7 hours is now done within an hour now. I'm looking at tools which will further automate this, that they pull out the transcripts automatically, split, and they know that I will ask these questions and automatically get me the, let's say, weekly digest summary or something.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I remember talking to you on these over the call when we spoke earlier, right? And I, for one, was actually hoping that there would be a tool available which would be doing fundamental analysis for stock markets, equities, and maybe some bonds and other things, and giving reports out already in terms of AI. Do we really need AI for this? Because this looks like we would actually AI helps in speeding it up, making it faster. Like if the call is happening right now, in the next 1-2 hours, you should be having the report saying, okay, here is what to be done. But I think, and I'm surprised, like you're still doing it manually. I would not say manually, but leveraging AI to get this output done. This is a classic use case. I think you would not be the only one who is doing this. There'll be thousands of investors doing this. And this is a classic use case for a product on top of AI that can work out. Have you not come across any tool yet that or
No,
have you tried any tool which you tried but did not give you the outputs that you?
Okay, so I tried out. There is a tool called finchat.io. It's does a similar analysis for US stocks and all. But the challenge with these tools is they don't understand what I'm looking for, or they don't retain the memory. For example, ChatGPT now understands me so well. It knows what tonality of emails I write to whom. If it's a large enterprise, how would I write the email? ChatGPT will automatically digest the data I've given it and then structure the email in that way. Versus finchat.io or others which I've tried, I have to keep on giving them the same feedback. Okay, can you give this data or can you do this and all? So whether doing through Notebook LM or them, I don't feel much of a difference currently.
Interesting. And there were no tools which are doing it for Indian stocks yet that you have come across.
No for India stocks. I know one of my friends is building a startup in this space, not for individual retail investors, but for, let's say, private equity or hedge funds and all, for automatically analyzing this data and giving them signals and all. But I'm not aware of any available tools for Indian investors currently.
So there are two things. Either no one has built it yet, then there is an opportunity for someone to build it. Or if someone has built it, then there is an opportunity for that to increase the distribution and get to investors like you to essentially say, okay, provide out. That's amazing.
Yeah, basically the awareness might be there, not be there for that particular tool.
Yeah, in general, there are so many tools in the market now. When yesterday I was speaking to a friend, how do I discover such a tool which does this and all? Apart from Google search, I don't know any other way, reliable way to get to that.
So that gets to an interesting point. Are you like, so I have been hearing this a lot from few people that they're now not going to Google for search at all. They're going to other AI tools. Is that been the case for you as well?
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, ChatGPT is my go-to tool, so I don't go to Google. YouTube I search in case I want to learn something new and all, or some space. For example, like you mentioned, AI, you keep on listening or going through. So for podcasts, videos, or for agentic AI, if I have to learn something, I go to YouTube. I don't go to Google. For research, definitely ChatGPT is the one. So my reliance on Google has definitely come down drastically. I would say 70-80% reduced.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's interesting.
And has Perplexity one of the tools that you have tried out?
I tried out in the initial days. I would say when it was similar to ChatGPT, but because I started relying more on ChatGPT, it understands me much better than anything else. Unless some tool has the capability to import my thought process, my writing style, my other things, I don't think it has got a mode for me to move there.
What is the basic difference that you see between ChatGPT and Claude?
So compared to ChatGPT and Claude, I would say the interfaces are a bit different. ChatGPT is more of a chat-based, those sort of. Claude is more welcoming for you to like upload documents, create visuals, and it has got a different section on artifacts altogether, where it gives you examples of how to create a business strategy map or how to create XYZ, a visual on Mermaid and all. There's a lot of integration with business side tools underlying is what I feel compared to ChatGPT.
Got it. So one, I would not say I'm not digressing. So it has been like we all hear, right? So the power of a Gen AI tool like ChatGPT or a Claude and others is on the prompt that you put them, right?
Right.
How did you go about in the journey for with the prompts here? Did you take any help? Did you learn it by yourself? Like, how would you say prompt plays a role here?
Yeah, I would say in the initial days, early 2023, I used to go through prompt engineering. What are people saying? Because it was very basic. Then I also tried to put it into code then and all. But eventually, over a period of time, I learned it on my own, is what I would say, or what worked for me. I'm not sure if what has worked for me is the best way to do it, but it's working for me and cutting down a lot of my time. And over a period of time, I've understood, okay, how ChatGPT works or how ChatGPT understands me and how I understand it. So it's more of a symbiotic relationship going.
So what works for
Very
you
interesting.
then, Chinmay? How do you structure your prompt? What do you ask? Like,
Yeah, in general, the prompt, I give it a lot of context and all. Let's say if I am prospecting for a new client in a certain industry and all, I try to put in, okay, this is the company I'm looking at. This is the buyer profile or the ICP I'm looking at here. How should I structure my conversations with the client? Can you give me a playbook? So ChatGPT will give me something that, okay, LinkedIn is the best mode or go by emails or in this market, you have to go by events and all or go through connections. So based on that, I further fine tune it and eventually I ask it to give it to me in a tabular format on what should I do on what day and what's the best way to do it. And that gives me so I use a lot of tabular format in my analysis or whatever I give ChatGPT to do. So nowadays it automatically presents
what's your
the
answer
data in
in
the
tabular?
tabular format. I need not say it explicitly now.
Interesting. So
Oh,
it
that
has
is really
kept
So
nice.
that
that's the
as the
way it is
memory
done.
inside.
Right. It has learned my behavior on what I'm looking for when I'm giving it prompts. So a lot of my prompts has reduced now that I need not tell it multiple times what I'm looking for, but it automatically gives it in that form. Or there are times where it shows me two variants. This is option one, this is option two. Which one would you like to go ahead?
Interesting.
Nice, nice. So, Chinmay, you have been working in the product management space for some time, and you are also consulting in that space. How do you think these AI tools are helping in this particular space? Do you find any tools useful in product management space, and what is the scope for that?
Yeah, definitely. Product management space, given that product managers, they work with a lot of qualitative and quantitative data. I think qualitative has been easier to get from multiple analytic tools, spreadsheets, Excels and all. Uh, Qualitative has been the more difficult one to, let's say, get from multiple sources, analyze it, get signals out of it and make decisions. So this is one space I see, be it through audio recording of the calls between sales and the client or the meetings he could not attend with the prospect or the unstructured feedback on a Play Store or a customer support channel or through other means. You can simply collect all of these, dump it into tools like ChatGPT and all, summarize it in a format or into the, let's say, business verticals you're looking at, be it monetization, be it cost savings and all. And it will already give you in a way you can further digest it and prioritize it further. So that's one space. And one of the tools I see doing well was Product Board. It's a product management tool for product managers to manage the roadmap, manage the custom feedback and all, how you configure it. And I like them because we use it for one of our clients and I really like that Product Board already has all of these capabilities. So you need not do the analysis somewhere else and put it in here, but you can directly use Product Board to like, okay, get all of the feedback, summarize this feedback and eventually create the top priorities for the next quarter based on customer feedback and also create user stories out of those. Till
Hmm.
that extent is that it has got the capabilities plus integrations play a big role. If it is already integrated with Jira, can simply push the user stories to Jira, make certain edits, and you're set for discussions with the engineering team or take it further to development.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is
And is that a tool
interesting.
that you use a lot in your company currently, product board?
Product board, we are more of a consulting company. So if our clients use it, we are more than happy to leverage those. For other clients, we have already, let's say, discussed with them that okay, this is how we can improve productivity by using such tools and all. So that's how things are.
Gotcha.
There are some interesting tools about the PRDs that are coming up, like
Yeah,
chat PRDs, which are coming up, and there are some tools for discovery, like Zeta.io.
right.
Have you got any chance to look over those tools by any chance?
I've heard about both of them. I haven't directly used them, but yeah, I haven't heard bad things about them. So definitely, I'll try one of these out in the near future.
So these are the
Yeah,
ones that has
interesting.
worked
Yeah.
for you so far, right? Now let's take about some tools. So you might have come across some Gen AI tools that you tried it out, but it did not fulfill
Mhm.
your aspirations or your expectations.
Right.
Without
Yeah.
naming the brand per se, but what are those areas that you were looking at? And so fintech is one, you said, the FinChat, right? You wanted something, but it did not really give you the kind of
Yeah.
output that was
Right.
looking for. What else have you seen? Like, okay, this still not meeting your, or you did
Yeah.
not like
So
about chat.
there are a bunch of other tools I used, but I'm not continually using them. There is a tool, I think that if I can name it, it's a good tool actually. There is a tool called Dotty Post. As part of Product Experts, we do create a bunch of LinkedIn posts or content around with visuals, with carousels in different formats and all. Well, Dotty Post helps you create these in a good way, post it directly onto LinkedIn, automate your content creation. We used it for a month and all, but yeah, the finish was not there, is what I would say. For example, Dotty Post, you can give your visuals, color theme, everything, but still you'll have to have a graphics designer work on the visuals to make it uh,
Yeah.
as coming from your brand and all. So that was the thing with Dotty Post. While the content was also, I would say, it helped you create a base layer of content. That this is a structure, you still have to edit it, you still have to work on the visuals, you still have to so it reduced the work of the graphics designer to ship it out, but still it was not an end-to-end tool that we will continue investing money into it and using it. So
Got
that's
it.
Yeah,
one example.
nice. That's
And
we did
then
also have the similar experience, like in our one of our tools, like Vercel or V0, where we did the initial mock-ups for our design. It was really coming out good, but yeah, definitely there could be an area where we could leverage more expertise to build that
right.
more.
And then I have
So,
more examples
the-
in this. I have used InVideo, I've used
oh, nice.
presentations.ai, Gamma. So the InVideo I recently used because I wanted to create, share some video posts or experiment with video on LinkedIn. Created so I found InVideo pretty good actually. It's a solid tool. I wanted to post about the books I've read last year and the books I want to read in 2025. It got through it pretty well. I was able to edit the video also to have the screenshots or the images of the books I want to speak about, have my image what I am speaking and all. The challenge I faced there is I wanted it to look more genuine, so it should rather speak in my tonality, my voice, rather than somebody else speaking. So that's where I faced a challenge. I'm still looking for tools which can do voiceovers for similar videos, so it's not an end-to-end solution for me.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
there is some option called as a voice clone that's coming up in InVideo and some tools like Clicky AI, wherein you can give your voice as a clone so that they could do voiceovers also.
Right. Yeah, so there are these tools also keep continually evolving. So what might have been true 3 months, 6 months back, maybe they have already done it. So I need to revisit some of these. Or as I mentioned earlier, discovering tools is a big challenge for me currently.
And it is challenge for everyone, by the way. So I
Right.
heard a few tools, and one of the things that I love about talking to folks like you is that I always learn two new tools that I can go back and do my research. So like today you talked about product board. Honestly, I had heard about it, but I had not gone into that depth of understanding. Now,
Okay.
talking to you give me a better way to understand like how you are applying it for yourself, and that gives me an
Right.
opening that okay, I can do it. Right? I had a similar thing. I heard about a tool called Bolt New from one of my friends, he said you should be using Bolt New. But he did one better. He actually sent me a video of someone who was developing a product using Bolt New. And me being me, I started watching the video. Then I opened up my laptop and started doing the coding. And within a day, I had got a product out, and it was life changing in a way, right? So right now I'm building products myself where I'm not relying on engineers anymore. I have no engineers hired to build products anymore for whatever I want to do. So I believe the first versions, MVP, POC, whatever you call that, could be shipped out if you're technical enough or have a good technical background, have a healthy product knowledge, and some design sense. That is my definition. That's me in a way.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
on that path currently, I would say. So I tried out Replit, I've tried out Bolt, but not to the extent I've tried out Replit. And I'm currently seeking recommendations from my network on what works the best. There are like diverse opinion on using Cursor and Lovable. Lovable is also like Bolt, is what I get to know.
Right.
And one tool I didn't have a good experience is another Replit. So Replit, again, that's a tool I have taken 2 paid subscription. I mean, for 2 months because of what my network used to say that you didn't use it well and all. But every time I used to be stuck in a bug or something, or it used to, let's say, make things worse compared to what was in the initial version it produced. So that's why I
This
don't have a
is
good
across
experience
all
using.
tools, by the way. So I have gone to this. So at times in the middle of the night when I'm coding, and I now have moved to Cursor, and if I'm not paying attention, it will actually start changing things up. I will start using explicits internally to him that don't with my previous code, which is working. I am telling you something, just focus on that, buddy. I go to
Got it.
that
Yeah,
extent
yeah.
of doing it, right?
The same thing happened with me for Versal. Like Versal V0, we bought the initial credits and all. We did the initial mock-up. The design were good. The moment you start iterating over that, on the third iteration, it will just build something out of new. It will lose all the old context and it will build something out of new, and you will keep on wondering at what was one bit wrong and all. That was like a tedious thing. I think Rashmi and I faced the same problem. And Rashmi did a quick iteration. He moved to Bolt after I struggled with V0, and from Bolt he moved to Cursor, and now he's really doing things fast. I think you're using the new tools, right? What
No,
are
I mean,
those?
I'm using,
Rashmi?
so I so what I liked about Bolt in general is like Bolt takes the entire context of the project while building the project up. So if you're building a new feature or the initial setup of a product, Bolt helps and goes very well. I didn't have that experience with Cursor to a certain extent. So let's say I'm trying to set up a project for a SaaS product or something. I can just give a few things and Bolt starts very well. The challenge with Bolt is when you're iterating, it writes the entire file again and again and again, right? So it takes a lot of tokens consumption. So I was running through tokens out. I remember in 2 days, I was telling Satya, hey, can you top up the tokens? It's like there were like 10 million tokens. So I got it done in 2 days. So that was like very quick consumption of tokens here, and which is not
Got
ideal. So
yeah.
I was little
Okay, so
hesitant then
coming
to.
to yeah,
The other
coming
side
to
of,
this point,
yeah, please go on, add on.
yeah, around the tokens, do you know of any platform which I don't know, people list their unused tokens, they can monetize on it. Let's say if I want to use Bolt on demand, but today only, is
A
there something that
token
exists?
exchange kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
right.
Sorry.
Because I'm sure people won't be using all of their tokens, which they get on a Bolt or a Replit or Cursor and all. So is there
I think
anywhere like,
they also, the company has to open the token sharing, right? They should open that. I'm okay with token
right,
sharing. I don't think we can transfer tokens out on Bolt or anyone else today. It is
right,
so this is where my Web3 hat comes in. Like, shit, this is a good opportunity for this thing, but I think it's too early. All these companies see that these
got it,
tokens or the dead tokens are essentially a revenue for them.
right, got it,
Yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
The other thing I was telling about Bolt was my personal challenge was I didn't want to go through a setup in the local host. That is my bane. I mean, I was very handicapped with trying to do setup, like how to install this package, install that package and whatnot, right? I didn't want to do that. So even today I have a hesitation towards it, and anything that has to do with some form of setup, on local system, I push it to Satya actually. He doesn't realize that, but I do that a lot. But so hence I was not setting up my personal one on Cursor, and I was trying to rely on Bolt because it is already having a preset browser and you can just test it out there. That was a very good tool. But I think at certain point of time, I actually made that jump to go and do the node setup on my local host, local system, so that I can run Cursor on it. It took me a day actually to get the setup running, but since then I've been able to code it out faster. So the new tool that Satya was talking about, there is a open source version. So Bolt New is actually open source. Then there is some people who have started iterating on the top of Bolt called Bolt.diy, do it yourself. So you can actually download the tool, set it up in your own host system, and run Bolt on your own credits on this thing. So that helps me to get things started again. Then I download the project to Cursor and then go there. So I don't go for a Bolt.new in general, but I use Bolt.diy these days.
Yeah, I have a question here. Maybe you can put it out of the podcast. So on a monthly basis, how much do you guys spend on AI tools and all? Because everything comes with a $20-$25 subscription and all for a month.
Right. So
How
I
far
actually
do you
spend a
take
lot.
it?
So I have got a Notion. So we can actually keep this. That's fine. I mean, not the question, but I actually spend a Notion paid account. So Notion on its backend has integrated with, I think, ChatGPT. So what happens is when I'm generating documents, products, anything, I actually give it right there in Notion, and it starts giving me answers there. So I have a monthly subscription of Notion there. Then I have a monthly subscription of Cursor for coding. I think we have a few other AI tools subscriptions. Canva is one of the other ones that I have. What else are we using, Satya?
We are using this Riverside FM. We are using, and then we are. Yeah, I have used personally. I'm using Perplexity and few other.
Anthropic.
Claude we
Anthropic.
are
How
using.
are you forgetting Anthropic, right? Anthropic out. So Anthropic, we top up and then use that credits out. Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing. Like,
So
Because just
personal
like
basis, overall, you can say
six, seven
50 to
subscriptions.
$70.
Okay.
And on the team wise, we'd say another 50. So overall, $100 to $120.
Okay. Got it.
see, I see it
But
this
yeah,
way.
I think this is an interesting thing that we have to optimize.
Yeah, I think there will be more, right? So, for example, I was trying to find someone to do engagement on Twitter, what is called as a reply guy, right? I did find someone, but they do it for a month and then they don't have that much of focus anymore. So I spent 2 months training them, but they do it for a month and they jump off, interns or anyone. So it's not really beneficial for me, right? I'm spending time, energy, effort to train them, then they go off. So, and it is not a very difficult one. It is a monotonous job. I'm looking forward to tools which will actually take that thing up and automate it for me. Agentic tools in a way, right? I'm exploring that.
Yeah.
There are a few, I think, extensions which are doing it, but I'm still not found a tool that will kind of replace it for me.
I think AI SDR tools, the agentic AI SDR tools which are coming up these days are actually doing this reply searching and parsing in a much better way. We do have someone coming up in our podcast in upcoming episodes to talk about AI SDRs and what is the space where how founders are working on that. I think this brings us to the topic like about this agentic AI, which is actually being the most discussed topic. What are your thoughts on this, Chinmay? Have you used any agentic AI tools?
So in general, I was curious about the topic, so I've gone through multiple, let's say, education and material around it, be it in YouTube or attended few workshops virtually, and also recently did a certification from Crew AI around this. I
No,
myself, for
nice.
my personal finance analysis, I definitely want to build an AI agent which does it for me to improve productivity. There are a few other use cases around agentic AI. Again, from my personal perspective, if I am tracking few Twitter threads, Twitter handles for certain information. I keep on looking at them. So I would want an AI agent to do it, give me the relevant stuff in a weekly digest or something, rather than me keep on continually looking at. So these are some things I'm looking to like get some hands-on on it, understand the space, then before figuring out some of the tools to use.
Yeah, that is interesting. Even like we have done a couple of good work on QAI. In fact, like I personally started my coding experience with QAI enterprise edition, and it was fantastic for him. Like it was very with no code versions and all. I started coding and I was able to launch our initial POC, like MVP using this Crew AI. In fact, like we built a agentic system for Aki AI using Crew AI, and we submitted our YC application
Okay.
using that itself. So, like, unfortunately, W 2025 didn't happen. But we are reiterating and we are making things better. And we are definitely there is a big scope for this agentic AI that is there.
In relation to agentic AI, I think there are a few other things. Voice agent, I'm not sure if it falls under agentic AI or not, but I did try out. There is a company called X11 or something, or X10. I did try out the demo. I didn't find it that great. And one of my developer friends over the CTO, he's developing a voice agent. So he asked me to speak to a few, let's say, prospective clients in the US around it and all. So I did speak to a few real estate agents, real estate companies in the US. And the feedback from there was okay. It's great that you can talk to a prospect and all, but can it like understand the tonality of the prospect? If the prospect is angry, can it talk to them in a soothing tone? If the prospect is not looking very enthusiastic to buy a home, can it like bring out the enthusiasm through its voice and all? So I didn't have those answers ready then, but those are the sort of initial feedback I've got from the market.
Interesting. So this is actually bringing me to one interesting question that I also keep thinking. Right? So if we take AI in general adoption, we will find people who are curious and want to try things out and are having or giving them the benefit of doubt to also fail the agentic ones, right? Then there are few people who want to have everything working and only then they will adopt it, right? And this is across for every industry, early adopters, innovators, early adopters, late adopters and stuff, right? Now, when we are looking at this AI, like where do you think AI journey is at this moment? Is still with early adoption, or are we there in innovative space, or are we moving towards late adoption space? Right?
Yeah, I would say we're still between early adopter and the next stage, given that AI is more of an enabler to make humans more productive, is what I see. That entirely autonomous systems are still a bit far off, given that, anyways, be it businesses or humans, they trust their judgment, or AI has not entirely replicated the way they do things. AI SDR also, I'm sure that, okay, they're doing a bunch of things in an autonomous way, but there are a bunch of things you must still do much better.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. How about have you got any experience in playing around with the photos of the AI making like generating photos?
Yeah, generating photos out last year, there was a point of time for 2, 3 months. I also wanted to like think about a product startup idea, get myself immersed in it and all, given that, because of multiple factors. So there I was able to get into this e-commerce product listing space. I did visit multiple studios in Bangalore around how do they do product shoots, what are the problems in the process. And there I saw that, okay, rather than using a human model, there could be an AI model also. Again, I'm talking 6 months, 8 months back. That time AI models were there, but AI was not able to replicate them perfectly. You could see the image and say whether it's an AI model or a human model. And brands also, the brands I spoke to, they were like, okay, if the model is fake, our customers will perceive that our products are fake. We won't go with AI models. But off late, after the Coca-Cola campaign and all, I see that the things AI was not able to do earlier well, like creating the hands, fingers and all. Now those have also been perfected. So AI is also evolving rapidly to perfection. And I'm sure in the next few months, there would be a time you won't be able to distinguish whether it's an AI generated face or a person or a real one.
I think I'm looking forward for a short movie to come in AI, built entirely on AI, with no actors coming in, but all AI actors in there. That would be fun to see. The movie industry.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So with that, like, Chandra, what do you think would be are the more deterrent factors of the which might be cause the problem in people adopting it less fast?
Yeah, I would say uh, even now in terms of adoption, not everybody is using AI. There are a bunch of my friends in corporates and all, they are asking, oh, we simply don't have time and we feel that we are left behind in the curve. That I don't know where to start, when to adopt AI and all. I don't have a number, but less than 1% of the people are actually using AI in their day-to-day life and improving their productivity. In terms of adoption, I would say a lot has to be a collective adoption rather than me saying I'll adopt and get better and all. It has to come through teams. It has to come in the entire organization philosophy. It has to come through national level policies and all. That okay, this is the thing you have to do in schools. Everywhere it has to start at a very ground level. So
It's
there is
basically a literacy, kind of a
yeah,
AI literacy, which has to bring it.
right. There is a wave that has to come for to push for adoption.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think most of us, like most of our known people are there, they have the same FOMO that AI wave has come and we are still in the monolithic or under the rock age. And where do we start?
Right. Yeah.
And in that process, they end up burning their fingers in tools where there are a lot of tokens consumed, and sometimes it leaves a bad taste, and you just pull yourself back. I think that this is an area where we can actually publicize that for the life cycle, which are the tools which can be better and which can make your experience better, and specifically how to use these tools and which use cases are better for that tools. That is, I think, a common platform or literacy has to be there for the AI adoption to increase.
So Satya, here your offering has to evolve every month or so, given that new tools keep coming, old ones become obsolete, capabilities improve, and also for somebody to keep updated, it's entirely a full-time job getting into this.
That's why we are having this discussion, because you mentioned like the experiences of board new and board DIY.
Right. Yeah.
They continuously evolve. But
Right.
once we have a bad experience in board, we will never look at it.
Right.
And similarly, like we are talking about the in-video thing you had used. Probably
Right.
in-video has brought in new options and features which has made it
Yeah.
much more better. So
Right.
that kind of a literacy or familiarity needs to be there. So to bring that option to a good level.
Right. That's true.
So, like, what do you think this year of 2025 be? What are the trends of AI which are going to be interesting in this year?
Yep. So from my understanding or whatever I've read so far, agentic AI is pretty big. People are bullish on it. A lot of money is being poured into it. There are early prototypes which are looking at success. But I would say, in general, this will be the year people might do a lot more POCs compared to last year, at least from enterprises point of view. I would say many enterprises will move from being a wait and watch mode to let's try this out, what works for us. Adoption, I'm not sure. Adoption is going to take a longer time. It's not going to happen within a year or something, but it's going to take time. But companies are going to invest into AI or trying out experimenting with AI for sure.
Right.
Okay, and which companies would you think would be the first adopters for the agentic AI?
Agentic AI, I'd say anything which is not customer facing currently, that might be a good bet because, like you mentioned, like we discussed, once a customer has a bad experience with it, POC is going to not use the tool or product. If you are a, let's say, Standard Chartered Bank, one of your customers has a bad experience, it's a bad taste. So you definitely don't want to expose it to the customer still less. The accuracy level is pretty high. So back office work, automating repetitive tasks, these are the ones I see agentic AI taking care of more, which are not directly impacting the customer, but improving the productivity of people, humans, or organization in general.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that this is a really good insight. Let's wait and see that how this AI game unfolds. But definitely, it is going to help the founders in making their journey better. I think the more better that we learn about these tools, I think we have got to know many new tools about here, and we are going to have a section where we will be pasting, like posting about the new tools, the updates, and all, so that everyone can be benefited about it and they can use that in a productivity at day to day. That is where we will all be benefited. And the journey, the main reason for this podcast is about your journey and experience. And today we got to learn a lot of interesting things about it.
Yeah, same here. I also got to learn a bunch of things from you guys.
So how do we reach out to you, Chinmay? Like in case our audiences want to talk to you and maybe seek your feedback about AI consulting or know more about startup or maybe pick your brain. How do
Yeah,
they
I
reach
think the
out to you?
best way to reach out to me is over LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so that's the only social media platform I use. I'm not on Instagram, not on Facebook, nowhere else. So LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to me.
Sure, definitely, Chinmay. I think that's a great insight, and we will be in touch. We'll have more discussions coming up with you to maybe see what are the new trends that are happening and new trends that are you are adopting in your startup journey. And it was a great talking to you. Thank you, Chinmay, for being in our show.
Same here. Thanks a lot, Satya. Thanks,
Thanks,
Rashmi.
man. It was
And thank
lovely.
you, Rashmi.
Look forward.
And thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
Yeah,
much. Have
see
a good one. Bye bye.
bye.
you. Yeah, you too. Bye.
Thank you for tuning on to the Founder Stories podcast. Today, we hope today's session with our incredible guest was interesting and inspiring. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave a review and share it with the network. Stay tuned as we continue to bring the stories of more extraordinary founders, explore the groundbreaking strategies, and showcase the latest AI tools and innovations that are shaping the future. Until next time, keep dreaming big and turning challenges into opportunities. See you in the next episode. Bye.